GM Farcaster. It is Wednesday, December 11th, and you are here with Nounish Prof and Adrian for 29 minutes of Farcaster news, following a little interview with our special guest, Melissa Burr and Fran, coming to us to chat about Alpha Friend. Welcome, and GM, how are you guys this morning? Good morning. I'm talking to you two.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Good to see you both. I'm going to just tweet this really quick and make sure everybody knows we're live now. So we're live on Twitter and YouTube right now. And we've really got to figure out stream. Adrian, we got to figure that out soon.
Yes, if you're listening stream, you're on our radar and we're getting there.
We're getting there, I promise. Yes, I promise. We'll talk about that actually in the news section.
In our news segment.
Exactly. But we're going to start with chatting about Alpha Friends because you all have an update that's coming, a V2. So I want to show that cast really quick and then we'll dive in. So this is from Alpha Friends, 2 days until V2 launches. Fun fact, did you know that Burberry and Oxford will be chatting with us today? So lots of things happening, going on here with Alpha Friends, and in 2 days you're launching. So what is V2? First of all, let's level set and just tell everybody who may not know, who's watching, what is Alpha Friends? And then what is the V2 upgrade that is coming this week? Whoever wants to jump on that.
All right, I'll give my 5-second elevator pitch because JC says it's really good, and anybody who hears it should sign up. So basically, Alpha Friends is a platform where you can have a one-way chat with your audience. And that is actually a feature, not a bug. The reason why it's set like that, so that when you get a ton of subscribers, if you think about it, you ideally wouldn't want this kind of group chat atmosphere where anyone can chill anything. But with Alpha Friends, this one-way chat allows you to curate the conversation in a way that allows you to share alpha in a more pointed direction towards your audience. That's one piece of it. And the other piece is when you create your channel, you generate alpha, and using that, you can use that to stake other channels. The benefit to that is not everyone is a creator, and the app is built so that anyone can enjoy the app for what it is. It's to create and consume content. And the really special thing about Alpha Friends is it runs on the Superfluid technology, which is the most capitally efficient way to pay for any sort of service, any kind of reward, or even kind of pay for employment. And what that is you stream right down to the second what you get. And to give you an example, when you pay for YouTube, you pay up front for the entire month. And maybe you watch a movie and you never watch it again. But with Alpha Friends, you can open up someone's channel, see their content, and maybe it's for you, and you keep subscribing. And during that time, it counts down every second that you pay for. But if you don't enjoy it, you can shut it down. And maybe you only paid for 30 seconds, but you can never be dissatisfied as a customer because you pay for what you get. And I feel like this is the future of social finance because many different models have been tried and sort of failed, but as a super user, this one worked the best for me because I'm pretty protective of the way I treat my audience, and I never want them to feel exploited. But the way that I use Alpha Friends, because people are always questioning, like, what should I put in my channel? But when you really strip down my channel, it's basically an intimate look behind the curtain of everything that I'm doing. And if you look at social media at its forefront, specifically Twitter and Warpcast, you cannot just unload an endless stream of consciousness onto your timeline because people would unfollow you. And for Alpha Friends, for me, I drip one idea onto the timeline, and maybe it has 3 bullet points, and I'll take those 3 bullet points and dissect them in a really intimate way behind my channel, behind kind of more of what I'm thinking of. So there's a lot of different ways that you can utilize Alpha Friends, and it doesn't just have to be about crypto or art, but it's just a really fantastic way to unlock different potentials for creativity. And and then we have V2 coming up, and I'll let Fran talk about all the changes that are coming.
Yeah, as Melissa said, it's all about subscribing to channels for content. We first launched in just during FarCon, actually, in May last year, and we had the first peak of usage there. Now we're launching V2. There's a bunch of changes coming. We're moving to ETH, for example, which is going to be a pretty big change for us. A lot of creators complained about the volatility of DGen as our subscription currency. I mean, as you can imagine, you're making $100 one day and then $20 the next. It was a bit harsh on creators. But there's a bunch of other changes coming. We're focusing a lot on incentivizing creators more in this new season. So there's going to be a lot of rewards for that. The token will become transferable. So far, the token that you earn by subscribing was not transferable. So, going forward in 2025, the token will become transferable, which is going to make, the whole dynamic very different in the game. It will also allow people to join and kind of join quicker, right? So in Alpha Friends V1, you kind of had to farm the token in order to ever get a foothold into the system. In Alpha Friends V2, you'll be able to, kind of kickstart by buying some tokens up front. So the whole dynamic is going to be very different for anyone who participated in the first launch. It's going to feel completely different. But yeah, Burra, what's the most exciting thing for you in V2?
I think that what we're pointing to, the more idea, I think improving a lot of things that we learned from V1. And the reason why I'm sitting here is because Fran himself actually had calls with tons of different power users of the site throughout the last 6 months. I think I had like 2 or 3 calls with Fran, and they weren't all, sunshine and flowers. I hope you're doing great. He asked me some hard-hitting questions, and I, as a user, not an employee, gave it to him pretty straight. So I'm looking forward, because a lot of things that we as the users had asked for were implemented, and then so on and so forth, because of the migration. With us upgrading the contracts, a lot of those the UX and UI requests that were made are made possible with version 2. And I'm pretty excited about V2, because taking all the knowledge that we learned from V1 and the feedback that the users gave Fran, I'm really excited to see how this discoverability of channels unfolds. And myself, JC, and Erin are all working on the onboarding of the various Twitter communities, and I'm really excited to see life being breathed back into the app, and the feedback that was given to the users of how we can improve the next version. And then also, as as I'm on the social media accounts, I'm excited to highlight all the different channels and get better communications out there to the users who are using the app, and just expose them to all the incredible content that's out there. Because as I've been using for the site for 6 months, I know the treasure trove of content that's lying on there. And with different Twitter spaces, I'm excited to uplift those people and support them in ways where we know what works and we know what doesn't work. And hopefully we can take that and empower the next group of users in version 2.
So just to kind of relate it to something people might be familiar with, this was sort of a Friendtech-like product, but that launched originally on DGen Chain. So that was sort of like people were using it within DGen Chain. So now this is moving to ETH. Is that correct? Or was it just using DGen?
It was using DGen on base.
On base. Okay. So it's always been on base. I wasn't sure if it was on base or if it was on DGen. So you're moving, instead of using DGen as the currency, it's being moved to base,
to use
to ETH.
To ETH,
exactly. As backing currency. Okay, cool.
So because I think a lot of people choose DGen?
Sorry, go ahead.
Can people choose to use DGen?
I don't know.
No, unfortunately, it's just going to be it's just too complicated. We explored some ways, like we had this crazy plan at some point to allow people to use any kind of base coin or any Farcaster coin, but it just got so complicated.
So people can earn, I guess, can pay and earn an ETH, and then they can move to DGen. And there's at least one person you're disappointing.
Actually,
just one.
We're good.
Just one. His name is Yes to Crypto.
We're disappointing. We're disappointing one person, yeah, but it's not Yes to Crypto.
We're sorry.
But actually, some very, very cool features coming for other base coins. I can't talk about them now, and they're not part of the launch that's coming in 2 days. But we're working on some features that are going to make a lot of people a lot happier than using degen. So there's good reasons to have ETH in your Alpha Friends wallets, right? ETH is a much easier currency to use for other things. So
the reason behind that primarily was, when you're looking to expand outside the Warpcast ecosystem, and you're looking to onboard, mass numbers of users with the crypto communities, and one of the hurdles is, okay, well, let's just think about it from a version 1 perspective. Okay, you need a Warpcast account, and they're like, well, I don't have one of those and it costs $5. Okay, well, that's one hurdle. And then if they're like, all right, fine, I'll pay the $5, like, okay, well, now it's in degen, and they're like, oh, now it's another coin. And if you've onboarded anyone in this space, every single roadblock that you put in place is another way for them to say no. So while it seems disappointing that we're moving from degen to ETH, it actually opens up just a ton of doors for us to onboard all of these people from crypto and take down those hurdles for them to say yes to Alpha Friends. So I'm sorry, yes to crypto.
So yes to Alpha Friends.
I was onboarding people at Farcon, right, in May last year. And I think I onboarded at least 30 people. And you'd be surprised how many of those people had Farcaster accounts but didn't have degen.
Really?
Right?
That is surprising.
They were at Farcon. Yeah, exactly.
And at Farcon, right?
That's really surprising. Like, yeah, they all should have had degen. That's weird.
So what I was doing is I was sending them degen, right? I was just sending them, $10 of my own money to onboard. But as Melissa was saying, everybody has ETH, right? On base, everybody has ETH, right?
True.
And using Alpha Friends is not expensive. Like, users usually put in $10. It's not built like FriendTech, which was very kind of exploitative. It was meant to kind of, it had this dynamic that went up to millions of dollars very quickly, right? With the bonding curves. Alpha Friends is not built like that. You can easily participate with $10. I mean, obviously, depends how many channels you want to subscribe to. But if you create a channel, get a few subscribers, subscribe to a few channels, you really don't need that much money. And making it in ETH is just one less hurdle, So
cool. So when is V2 launching? Is it tomorrow that it's launching? Tomorrow. Exciting. Very exciting. And so Melissa is also playing CastOut with us. And Alpha Friends is one of the challenge sponsors. So I was confirming that because I'm going to have the Alpha Friends challenge sponsorship run tomorrow then. So that's why I wanted to confirm what day it was that you guys were launching. So I'll tie it together and make sure to give you the most bang for the buck. So that's fantastic. And by the way, you're doing well. You're doing well, Burr Friends. Hang in there. So
I'm juggling a launch and Survivor game.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Believe me, I understand it's a lot, but you're doing great.
Thanks.
And so what else is going on with the launch that anybody should know about? Like, are you doing any spaces tomorrow? Are you doing anything to kind of walk people through the new features? Like, will you be sharing a video or anything like that shows like the walkthrough of that we can look forward to and look for tomorrow?
We're obviously we have a video laying in the wings. We're obviously going to drop a massive thread detailing all the changes. Fran was pretty sick. Some of the team members were down a little bit, but I would ideally like to host a space either tomorrow after it goes pretty smoothly, or either the next day to recap how it all went and kind of get some numbers in and to kind of take the temperature of the space. But in my mind, this launch, I wanted it to go really smoothly, get our existing base over there, and then go over all the changes that you see and kind of answer everyone's questions and take it one day at a time, because this week has been kind of it hasn't been the easiest on the team. We had to deal with some mishaps and some unfortunate timing, but I think that a lot of different things have come together and we're really proud of how it's coming along.
Awesome. What are some of your favorite channels, Burr and Fran?
Good. That's a good one. Mine's Driven by Boredom.
Driven by boredom. What is that? Tell us what that is.
I mean, it's honestly, it's worth downloading the app just for that channel, I would say.
All right,
it's the
you've got me
craziest stories
intrigued.
ever. Yeah, celebrity photos, you know, crazy party stories. Like, yeah, it's really, really quality. I don't think even on Farcaster I haven't seen anything that's as good in terms of like, you know how like a lot of crypto media.
I'm really glad
like
I asked
media,
this question because now I'm intrigued.
Yeah. No, look, honestly, it's one of, you know, I'm not exaggerating. That channel is one of the reasons why I'm still super bullish on Alpha Friends, because it's, you know, not crypto. You know, it's literally just a really, really good content entertainment channel that's not ever shilling any tokens. It doesn't talk about crypto. It's literally just a guy sharing his party stories, and it's super entertaining. I don't know if
He's actually,
do you subscribe to him? You do? Okay.
Yeah, Nate
hilarious.
is Nate's a really spectacular photographer. You know, he's had the opportunity to shoot super famous people in space, musicians, models, and it's not, you know, it's not your average photography. It's people in their natural habitat doing drugs, drinking, and he's just has these elaborate stories that accompany it, and it's just, you can't take your eyes off the photos, and then he's telling you the backstories of what is happening. That's a great example. I know, despite Yes to Crypto, we might have lost him, but Yes to Crypto, in terms of a crypto account, is one of the most educational channels you could possibly learn from.
Really?
And it's not just because he's, you know, he does talk about coins, but I think that's, you know, even though every single cast he's talking about a coin, the real education is why he's buying them, when he's selling them, the intentions behind selling, and the importance of selling, and, you know, not letting people tell you what
sounds
to
like
do.
a great channel, actually. That sounds amazing. Yeah,
It is,
like
you know,
that.
and
Now you've got me intrigued on both of these. These are very interesting.
But you can see why these things are pay gated, right? Because this person, Yes to Crypto, shouldn't just be, you know, firing off all this free information that most people had to pay, you know, tens of $1,000s to learn that they should sell going up on the way up. But it's not that simple. You know, there's psychology behind it. But there's just, you know, there's so many different things that, and while I said it doesn't have to be about crypto or art, those are our two favorite channels. I think one of the hurdles from people, or one of the trepidations about starting a channel, is a lot of people don't know what they have to offer. And I'm a true believer that pretty much everyone in this world is an expert in something, and they just don't know how to communicate it right. And I think one of the drawbacks in this space is we as a society have taught to be on chronically online, and communication has fallen to the wayside. But if we all learned how to communicate better our ideas, then, you know, all we need to find out is what you're truly an expert at. And I think there's a lot of people out there that have things that they could share and charge a price for it. And, you know, like we're talking about all these channels, like eventually you clock into Alpha Friends and you're like, all right, let's check my morning newspaper. And you're reading Nate's channel, and you're seeing what Wake's up to and what he's gossiping about. So it's like you have your tabloids sometimes, and you have your art, and you have your finance section. But, you know, for a very small price, depending on how involved you want to get, the beauty of that is you can subsidize all of that content with either your own channel or staking other channels. It's just a really fun atmosphere to kind of play in for not a lot of money, or even profit, if you treat it seriously like a business.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
very cool.
A lot of people don't appreciate it, but because all the money is streaming, right? So as a channel creator, you get your payments in real time. Like, you get paid every second, and you are paying for your subscriptions every second. So as long as you've got a few subscribers, that subsidize all of your subscriptions, and, you know, the money's flowing around, but it doesn't really feel like you're paying as much. You know, it's not like paying up front for, you know, a full month of, you know, the New York Times, which is something everybody hates doing. Somehow with Alpha Friends, it feels very natural.
I was just talking to somebody else about something like that, along those same lines of, paying for, I know what it was. We were in another meeting, and paying for, like, when you go to a gated, a paywall site, and you just want to read this one article. Like, I don't want to subscribe to your whole thing, because I'm going to see one article maybe a couple times a year. that I want to read on whatever site it is. It might be the New York Times, it might be, something else, the Guardian or something like that, where I'm like, I just want to read this one thing and that's it. And I will pay you for that. Like, I'm happy to pay for that. I just don't want to subscribe forever. Like, I just want to pay for this one thing. Yeah. So that does seem to be a better way to do content, of have an easy way to get out if you're like, or just be paying for what it is you want to consume. So I do like that. Adrian, what other questions do you have that we may not have covered?
Just I guess to people who are listening who haven't tried Alpha Friends yet, are you hoping to get more, I don't know what you call it, like participants, more creators? What should people, like, where should people go today if they want to try out Alpha Friends?
Well, right now the app's up and running. Tomorrow it will go offline for the full migration. So, I mean, I don't know if Friends wants me saying this, but I think I would wait till the migration.
Wait till the V2, and it's in the App Store.
In the App Store, or are you downloading it as the PWA, or
it's
PWA? Yeah, just go to alphafriends.com.
Okay.
Yeah, alphafriends.com, spelled in the worst possible way. With an F. With an F, and friends as the crypto way is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the migration is gonna be tricky, but I do recommend anybody who's touched the app. A lot of folks on Farcaster tried it out when we launched it last year. We are migrating the token from Alpha to AF, which is going to be an actual token. Alpha wasn't really a token, but AF is a proper ERC20 token. It's still not going to be transferable initially while the migration happens. But if you ever want to, use it as a token, then I would recommend going through the migration. And we are going to have free subscriptions, so no gas until next Monday, I believe. So,
okay,
it's a good time to try it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, gas is annoying now, thanks to Clanker.
Yeah.
So it's good to, we decided to subsidize it until next week.
And in terms of like the Farcaster integrations, like, can you sign in with Farcaster or anything like that? Can you follow your social graph? Like, can you talk a little bit about those sort of connections? Fran or Burr, whoever wants to.
Yeah, go ahead, Fran. You can take that.
Yeah, so
as far as
you can sign up with Farcaster. Farcaster is still like at the top, so when you sign up, it's like the preferred option. And there's one of the categories in the explore section explicitly looks at your follower, the people you follow on Farcaster. So it's very easy to follow, to subscribe to people you follow on Farcaster. And there's always a link to your Farcaster account in your profile as well. But beyond that, right now there aren't any other integrations, but there are some things in the roadmap.
Okay, great. Awesome. Anything else we may have missed that you want to share? Or Adrian, any other questions that you have before we wrap this part? That's awesome. I'm excited to see the V2 and try it out. And now I have a couple channels that I'm really interested in checking out now. So Burr, what is your type of content that you're sharing there? Like, why would I want to follow your channel there versus what I'm seeing in your other socials?
So in my channel, it's just like a really in-depth look behind how I build Burr Friends, the actual poker club, and a lot goes into that. I've secured multiple different huge sponsors, also the headaches that I go through if you're ever deciding just to build something off the cuff. Everyone says it's not as easy as it looks. It's truly not that easy. I talk about mental health. In my channel, you'll just find a very honest version of Burr, which is, where you find it everywhere. But I think
I was going to say, there's a more honest version of Burr.
Yeah, I'm pretty blunt and I'm pretty honest in that channel, but I really don't hold anything back because I feel like it's my closest buddies who are paying to talk to me. So, I treat it pretty seriously, but it's kind of just a hodgepodge of what's going on in the industry. And the one thing I do is I check in pretty consistently every day, and I have a topic that I want to talk about that week, and then also it acts as a hub of communications for people to ask questions about Alpha Friends in general. And the one thing I did want to say is, because we're going to cover gas until Monday, is that while that's you on the surface, you might want to think like, oh, I have to get and subscribe to as many channels. That is the point, but also that what also that means is you should get in there and make sure you start your channel up too, because all these subscribers have free gas. So you want to make sure that your channel is the one that's up there. And I see another question. Seriously, what happens to our DGen on the platform during the migration process? Fran, if you want to answer that, but you're given the option immediately. It's what you would like to do with your DGen is either swap it to ETH. But go ahead, Fran.
But yeah, I mean, first off, like we don't do anything with your assets. You know, it's a non-custodial wallet. You know, we can't just kind of move around your funds. There will be two options, which are withdraw or swap. So you can either swap it to ETH or withdraw the DGen. Completely up to you. Again, they're your funds. The migration, you know, until everybody's migrated, there will still be some people who are streaming around DGen. So the option to withdraw DGen is going to remain in the app until 100% of the users have stopped streaming DGen. So it's gonna stay there, you know, and forever probably, because there's always one holdout who forgets that they have the app open. But yeah, it's completely up to you.
So when you're creating, so you have a wallet that's a custodial wallet, but it's in the app. So that's what you're funding in order to interact within the app. Is that correct?
It's a non-custodial wallet.
Non-custodial wallet. That's what I meant. Sorry, non-custodial.
Yeah, it's privy, like it's embedded in the PW.
Okay, got it. Yeah, awesome. All right, thank you. Yeah, thanks for that, and thanks for taking those questions. And I'm excited to try this out. I think Adrian and I need to chat about maybe we launch a GM Farcaster channel there. We'll have to think about it. Or I might just play around and jump into other people's channels, because now I'm really interested in Driven by Boredom. This is kind of, you've got me interested with that. And also Yes to Crypto's, you know, we already try to copy trade him on occasion on interface. So, you know, it might be a good idea to get the real alpha. So we see it before he does it. Amazing.
And across all the hidden wallets.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. And so thank you both for jumping in here with us today. We're going to jump into our regular news, but we'll let you go because it's very late where Fran is, and it's very early where Burr is. For Burr. It's early for Burr. It's not early, but it's early for Burr.
Thanks for having us on. We really appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here, and good luck with the rest of CastOut. Big vote today, so we'll see how that goes. And Alpha Friends will be the challenge sponsor tomorrow, so very excited about that. So we'll be seeing you around.
All right,
thanks so much for coming in. Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
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 And I have to cough one more time. That was awesome. I feel like I learned a lot that I had been afraid to ask, because I felt like I should already know more about Alpha Friends than I did. And I feel like I learned a lot by just that. So that was great.
That was great. And many such cases. It is impossible for anyone to keep up with the number of apps and launches that are happening in the Farcaster
because we have
system.
such prolific builders. They're incredible.
Yeah. Even if your job is to talk about Farcaster all the time,
it's impossible.
It's hard to,
it's impossible to keep up on it all. All right, we need to jump into some. That was great. I feel like I really need to dive in. Yeah, I'm definitely going to dive in. I'm going to wait for the V2, take advantage of that gas, free gas, and dive in there. Where's my overlay? There we go. So we've got a little bit of other news to tackle, and we've got a few things that we want to highlight. Excuse me. Don't mind me just coughing up a lung. New on Warpcast, Thread Composer. So I'm not even sure what this means. Adrian, do you have any idea what the new version of this is?
I haven't tried it yet, but Warpcast famously, quote unquote, doesn't support threads. And that's always been a big issue for people coming over from Twitter or other places where they're used to writing threads. You have a short limit, right? It's kind of like short text. Farcaster's for short text. So if you want to write something long, people write threads. Warpcast doesn't have native support for threads. People have a tantrum and then they go back to Twitter. Supercast supports thread creation. Warpcast never did. I just saw this announcement when I woke up this morning. Haven't tried it, but it looks like Warpcast now lets you create threads. Now, to be clear, you could always create a thread. You just couldn't do it all at once. So you'd have to write a cast, send it, go to your cast, reply to it, add your second.
Sometimes you had to refresh to get the reply you just wrote to come up.
Yep.
Yep. Not easy.
It's not been easy. So if you are wanting to write something that is longer than a single thought, you now have native support for threads within Warpcast.
Which I really wish that I think he meant to write this as a thread, but didn't, because I don't see anything else from him. I was looking for the thread. So Dan, when you're demonstrating, please demonstrate it. So I'm looking, that it's going to be really helpful because I've been doing threads for CastOut, like of different entries and things like that. And that's been such a pain. I was just going through and checking because I realized I had to check the numbers on two of the challenge submissions. During the show, they were hitting that 12-hour mark, and it's like it's never easy to find the thread and to compose it. So this should be a really great feature. So glad to see it.
Yes, Naomi. Threads are out now.
They're back. Threads are back. Threads are back, Naomi. Threads are back. They never were really out.
Just remember, Warpcast and Farcaster does support mute words. So,
true.
And I assume it works with emojis. So you can take that little thread emoji and throw it in your mute. If you hate me, if you hate threads. Voice.
Oh my God, you're so funny. That's hilarious. This also from DWR, new on Warpcast, revamped frames tab. Access your favorite frames in 2 taps. Tap a frame to launch it. Tap Explore to access the growing list of V2 frames. You can add any V2 frame in your feed. Remove a frame with a long press. Replaces the old Explore tab. Live on mobile, no immediate plans for web. So this is where the globe was now. I guess this is now the new version of that. Yep, it looks like a little composer action. So it's just the ones that you're using, I guess, that you're adding there yourself. So that's pretty cool. So essentially like a much easier way to bookmark so that you can find things easily that are frames. So very cool. And I also have this one I have this ball in my frames tab. That's the only one I have right now. Which that might be a hint of something to come today. Moving on. This from Samantha. This is crazy.
Yes.
Someone made a token of me to be explicitly
Someone is
clear.
not listening to our show.
No, somebody is not listening. To be explicitly clear, I do not endorse this or had any knowledge of this token. Many people have asked me to launch a humankind token, but it will never happen because I'm wholly focused on making beautiful functional candles that bring joy to people's relationships with themselves and others. This is a distraction and waste of time for whoever launched Samantha Bot. Fuck you for trying to get people to buy your shitty ass token to collect fees with my identity. So once again, don't do this. Do not do this. Sam didn't do this. Don't buy this. There you go.
And don't launch tokens using other people's identities.
Yeah, just don't do that. It's not good. Eventually you're going to get sued. So don't do that. Like eventually you're going to do it to somebody who's really mad and wants to just, sue your butt. So don't do that. All right, moving on. So this was related from DF. Should token launchers withhold fees or donate them or redirect them if the token creator uses someone else's likeness or IP without consent? That's the other thing. I've seen some IP being used that is not the token owners. Like I saw something with pudgy penguins and other things like that. So that's another issue, legal issue. It would discourage this kind of thing. To what extent should fees be part of an unstoppable protocol versus something that has the ability for a human to intervene against abuse? So I think that's a really interesting idea on, and I think it's something that, yeah, I'd love to see being explored. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. It's a great question to throw out and discuss. It does mean all of a sudden when you start gating something and holding something back, the question is where and when and how in the stack does that decision get made?
Yeah.
And is it up to a human being to decide whether to release the fees, or is it algorithmically determined? I imagine you could probably put a human in there in the beginning, and later, I don't know, maybe you can give it to AI to figure out. But
or maybe there's a way to report a clanker. I don't know. Report a Larry.
Right. I mean, this is always then, right? Yeah. Then it gets hard to fully decentralize and put something in code when, like centralized entities are able to make judgments. And that's good for functioning society.
This is always our challenge, right? Our desire to be decentralized gets, somebody always ruins it, and that's why we can't have nice things. So, and today it's whoever made this one who's ruining it today. You're the reason we can't have nice things.
And if you don't, and by the way, if you're not happy when you see something like that, we've seen someone launch a TED token last week, and Sam, you can just go support the creators and people that you like. So go buy a candle. Don't buy the token. Buy a candle.
Buy a token. Buy a candle. Yep. I agree. Go subscribe to the hyper sub. Do something else. Somebody I did notice launched another CastOut token. That's not ours. They did not use our IP, so I wasn't as concerned. So that's fine. I don't own the name, but yeah, it's going to happen. It's obviously going to happen. This from W. Benz. Tomorrow is another pump day on base. The core engineering team is increasing the per block gas target from 16.5 to 18 mgas/s. I know there's probably a more technical way to say that. Goes on, for builders and almost all base users, no changes are necessary. But if you're running a base node and notice any latency after the increase, 1, monitor CPU and disk IO usage. 2, enhance disk throughput and use disks with lower read-write latency. I'm just not even going to read the rest of that. 3, improve CPU, focusing on single core speed. You can also stop by the Node Operators channel in the base Discord if you have any questions, and we'll be happy to help you there. So we really need to get W. Benz on to chat about some of the technical things that have been happening. Would be great.
Yeah, because if you're following base on socials, most of what you're seeing are from builders. So it's like, here are the different just apps and things being built on base. Jesse's constantly championing builders and kind of sharing, and I think that's great. But there is a constant attention on the tech side, which is super interesting for nerds like us, except we don't always understand exactly what is going on because we're not in there. So we will get W. Benz back on for a little explain it like I'm 5.
Yes, that would be great. Because there's a lot of things we see like this that I only half understand. So I'd love to have a deeper understanding of some of the gas target thing and what that means and why they're doing those changes and things like that.
I was speaking to someone who's not in the kind of, I guess, base ecosystem or even like the ETH, not that familiar. And it's kind of like they heard something on a podcast that was criticizing Ethereum layer 2 strategies and about kind of like, it's like, and because of like, well, Ethereum's not, it's centralized because you have all these centralized layer 2s on top. And it's not, and base is Coinbase, like just synonymous. So they heard something on a podcast somewhere, and I'm explaining the different progressive decentralization roadmap for layer 2s. I was talking about Vitalik at Basecamp, talking about kind of who's been following along base and how he's kind of vouched and also for Jesse's, I think, attention
Yeah.
And commitment to decentralization. And it doesn't. So I find the what base team is doing on the tech side to progressively decentralize base really interesting. And I wish I had more time to really dive in to understand it because I'm not deep into the weeds and I'm
Same.
curious. So let's get someone back on soon to explain it to us.
Yeah, we need some help for sure. All right, we've got a few more things. I'm trying to call a little bit because we're running a little bit long. This from Linda, given the huge number of token launches and users wanting to pay their community through bounties, now all tokens will be auto picked up as bounties by Bountycaster. Format is $token, e.g. $Helvetica. Only officially supported tokens will have the price feed and payments on our site for now. DM me to get it added. So this is very cool. So this is so that you can create a bounty in the token of your choice. So if you're launching something new and that's the token you want to use, this will give you that option. So very cool to see. This was just really interesting as well. Places I think people will clank: group chats, Hyper 7 Moxie fan token communities, channels, Telegram chats, paragraph articles, Bounty Bot posts, Twitter, TikTok messages, email, and apparently for many different reasons as well, which I don't think I pulled that cast. I need to pull it right now to explain my background. Adrienne, would you like to get us started while I pull this up? Because I forgot to pull that one.
Yes.
So what is in my background, Adrienne?
You've got a virus. It's a little bug. Prof is sick, unfortunately.
If you can't tell,
and it's very inconvenient timing. Prof was at Art Basel last week, had a great time. We all had FOMO, and she came home sick. Very bad timing because it is the launch of CastOut. She's running the show, like literally. There's daily challenges. There's a massive amount of cat herding that has to happen, and setting up the challenges.
Nobody got time for this
with tribes, like all the various on chain, sending out the rewards. Like it's a lot. Anyway, and a daily show, and we're doing a daily stream at noon Eastern.
Yep.
And I was feeling bad for you, so I launched you a token.
So she launched me a token. It says Clanker, deploy a token to cheer up Nounish Prof while she's sick in bed, working overtime, and second guessing whether conference travel is ever really worth it. And so the name is Post Conference Plague, ticker Basilbug. Post Conference Plague is a meme coin for conference survivors. First strain is Basilbug. This is so funny. So Clanker responded, I understand. A token for the wary conference goer. How fitting. I'll deploy it, though I doubt it will cure any ailments. It did not, but it did make me smile. Perhaps it will provide a fleeting distraction for the post-conference malaise. It did. It was very cute. But I want to go back a little bit into this thread because you had some issues.
Yep.
Because Clanker was down at that moment, I think, or something. And it didn't launch it. So it went back and forth, but there was a back and forth with proxy, and I can't find it right now. Why? Because threads are weird. I can't find it, but basically, you also said you needed to launch a Clanker because we're going to have Dish on next Monday and possibly proxy with him as well to chat more about Clanker, and you needed to launch one so you understood it better. So that was a good idea.
I am famously anti-meme coin. Is anti too strong of a word?
I think it's too strong. I think you are.
Okay.
I think you are
Skeptical?
meme coin skeptical. Yes, I believe you're meme coin skeptical is a better way to put it. Yeah, which is valid, incredibly valid. So and understandable. So she's been famously skeptical of all the things, starting with the free money that was sent to her with DGen. Where she didn't even want to claim it. Her question was why? Why should I claim it? So it's gone from there. But here you are launching a Clanker. We've come a long way, baby. Like For real.
So Dish is coming on next Monday. Proxy may come as well. I don't know how these guys have to be the most busiest people in all of
Right?
these days.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what their DMs and notifications are like.
Because we had Proxy on like maybe a week after, not even 5 days or something after Clanker launched, and it was and from since then, and it's only been like
It's
a month. It's crazy. Like
who's not
they're
talking
in a
about
whole,
Clanker
right? They're in a whole
and
different
who's
world.
not. So, so I'm excited to have Dish on, the developer, and I felt like maybe I should experience what it's like to clank
I think that was a good
before
idea.
it's
Yeah.
part of the job. So
And I think that
did.
was the
It was
first.
a
I'm
learning
pretty sure that was
experience.
the first Get Well Clanker. So very good.
I think this actually makes me bullish on your token. No, I think you're getting the wrong message. Be bearish.
Be bearish on the token. She's not really going to do much with it. It's just a fun thing.
If you read what I wrote,
yeah.
I don't even think you did. I'm doing nothing with it. No one is doing anything, and there is zero utility, and you will lose money if you try to buy it. So don't do it.
Of course, I bought it, but yeah.
No.
Of course I did. It was my.
Why would you do that?
Because it's my basil bug. I just bought a little bit.
Okay, I did
wanted
not.
to.
I did not even buy. I did
That's
not buy my own
hilarious.
token.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
so full transparency, and you can look. I didn't buy my own token. I just
At
wanted
least
to
she knows
launch
she's
it.
not going to dump on you. So there you go. Because she didn't even buy it. That's so funny.
I did get some fees. I get some fees for launching, and I also can claim them with my Rainbow wallet.
Yes.
That was new.
That is new, and I have that somewhere, but I don't know where it is. I'm trying to go through all our links.
Thank you, everyone who bought my token.
That's hilarious.
I'm going to donate the fees to Prof. It'll make her feel better. She can go buy a bunch of NyQuil and DayQuil.
That's all I've been buying. I am quite stocked up. I had to go to CVS yesterday and restock. All right, a few more things before we wrap. There's not too much going on. It's mostly a lot of clanking. This from Jan Furla. Not sure who needs to hear this, but it doesn't matter if Jesse Pollock or any other big name buys your base coin, it means nothing. Instead of chasing influencers to buy your bags, focus on finding strong, vibey communities committed to building based culture together. Agree. Totally agree. And by the way, Jesse buys all the coins. So it's nice. Vitalik is different on the other hand. If you get a Vitalik buy, that's a whole different ballgame because he only does things that are really interesting to him. Jesse's the eternal cheerleader, which is why we love him. This from Mike. Someone should make a gdupi AI bot that just says stupid stuff. Call it a gdupi. Artificial intelligence, artificial stupid. Okay, Mike. Just a Mike funny for the day. This from Magic Eden, from me on base. Magic Eden is hiring and heard Warpcast is full of talented builders. The intern told them. Our team is building a future where trading is seamless, tokenomics are meaningful, and Magic Eden stands as the best and biggest DEX in Web3. If you're ready to dive into big challenges, own your impact, and help shape the next era of Web3, we'd love to have you. So go check that out if you're a dev looking for a job with Magic Eden. Would be a great place to go. This from DWR, frame idea, go live, a creator to simulcast a live media stream from OBS StreamYard Riverside, generate a unique V2 frame URL for the creator, open the frame to listen to the live stream, ability to send notification to anyone who has installed the frame. So this is essentially Stream, which we have not tried yet.
I love this cast.
Yeah, this cast was really funny.
DWR wrote about like, oh, it'd be great to have a streaming frame. If you've been in the Farcaster native creator whatever circle as we have been, this is something we've like been talking about forever, which is
forever.
Especially since Unlonely decided to leave Farcaster and base. We miss you guys, but it's like, how do you stream from within feed? We knew we'd have it. So DWR is casting this great feature where we're like, yeah, that'd be great. Stream's like, hi, we're doing it.
I've been here. We're doing it. We keep telling you. Like, I feel bad. So this is Stream TV DWR. Users can now multi-stream to Warpcast using it, and if they choose, also stream simultaneously to YouTube, Twitch, and more. Our V1 had notifications, working on bringing it to V2. So I have been meaning to try this out. I just need to get it set up. And the other thing is you can also do a little funky workaround using Paragraph, which we figured out. But it's clunky. It's not like straightforward, but it's just a matter of time before this all gets smoother. Because we're very close to this all being. The notification thing is what I'm really excited about more than anything. Okay, this from Zoillo. This was so funny. I'm gonna just summarize this. I have to start with I unintentionally gave Zoillo a 5,000 DGen tip because I was replying and saying that I was going to be giving a 5,000 DGen to somebody who voted for the winning meme. And I was explaining that in a reply. And of course, I'm ladled with just cold meds and didn't think about it and ended up tipping her by accident. But she had a horrible day and this made her day. So today I decided to take my 4-year-old, 2-year-old, and 1-year-old into Target for some light Christmas shopping. Everything was going expectedly, kids screaming, grabbing items, throwing things, hitting each other until I lost my truck keys. It was absolute hell. Fast forward, shortly arriving back home, I was accidentally tipped 5,000 DGen. Seriously pulled me out of the depths of despair I was mentally in. Thank you, Nanishpra, for unintentionally making my day. Definitely my biggest tip ever. So I was like, great. If I'm, what a great mistake for me to have made. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's hilarious.
Hilarious. And see, Willow is one of the players on Girthy Gang's tribe. And so I don't know them. I'm just getting to know them. And this was
Girthy Gang's hilarious.
Hilarious. They're hilarious.
In a good way.
No idea. Yes.
Was that clear? Like,
yes.
They're
totally. Totally. I'm like, I'm really glad that they're playing.
Shoot, did you mean to do that?
Yeah. Did you mean to do that? Huge tip. I'm like, oops, no, I did not mean to do that. This from Horsefacts. No, Mom, it's a real job. Yes, they're paying me. No, not in crypto. Yes, I have insurance. It's time to yoink. You've been yoinked. It's time to yoink. You've been yoinked. Oh, we love Horsefacts. Horsefacts. Horsefacts is one of my favorites.
Wait, Merkel's not even paying in crypto? I thought they were.
They're paying in BC fiat dollars. So there you go.
Disappointing.
Very disappointing. Just want to mention this for one reason. I don't want to dive into the whole thing, but what I found was interesting was that the United Healthcare shooter had a GitHub.
And had a GitHub, and it was the Farcaster fam that found it, and that's what we talk about here is code.
Yeah, exactly. I just found that funny. That only on Farcaster will you see the GitHub. So very funny. Okay, I think I need to call this stream because I am losing it. So we'll dive into more. I think we covered any other big things that we wanted to cover today, Adrian?
Nothing big. I'm like just thinking there were some bangers that we didn't necessarily pull, but many such cases that's kind of any typical day. So I think we covered it. We're back at noon Eastern for our CastOut edition, where we will announce the winners of the second Mashicam challenge and announce the third challenge. I really wish you guys could be in the group chats because
I know
these players are leaning into the game.
They are leaning into the game, and they are a lot of fun.
They are playing.
We do need to end with one thing. We need to play this video. So let me play this because this was my favorite thing yesterday. Oops. Oh, I think I got to go to YouTube. Hold on. 1 second.
All right. So what Prof is pulling up is a YouTube video that Jan Frula created, which is I thought he was actually doing the bounty that Dan asked for, which is like, hey, I want a
I thought so
60-second
too.
explainer on Clanker. And then when I actually read in the replies, he's like, no, I think this is longer than 60 seconds. He was just creating a video to explain what Clanker is. And it's incredible. So we're going to watch the whole thing?
Babe, what's Clanker?
Clanker is an autonomous bot that lets you easily launch meme coins on base. I'll show you. This is Clanker, the latest existentialist technology by Proxy Studios, designed solely to create tokens for the Farcaster community. You just need to cast and clank. It's easy. Let me show you how to do it. You will need an image, a name, and a ticker. For the image, I will draw the ugliest thing I could. Oh, it's actually kind of cute. The ticker is the most important thing. This is how people will search for your degenerate creation. Bonus points if there's no other tickers like that. Now, deploying it, it's easy, but it's the idea the difficult part. This is how I will do it. Now all that's left to do is marketing.
That's awesome. And if you were, if you're not watching the
Okay.
video, yeah, if you're only listening, you missed a lot of the video. So come watch on YouTube.
Yeah, come watch on YouTube because you got to see it, because it's pretty amazing. So
Now we know
gdupi,
what gdupi
yep.
is, even if we don't know how to
Gdupi,
pronounce
gwoofy, gdupi, gwoofy, dwoofy, gaboopy, gaboofy. Yeah, the whole thing. And with that, everybody, we hope you have a amazing Wednesday. We'll be back here for CastOut at noon today. And with that, we will see you. Bye-bye.